The Song of Wandering Aengus by William Butler Yeats, 1865 to 1939. I went out to the hazel wood because a fire was in my head, and cut and peeled a hazel wand and hooked a berry to a thread. And when white moths were on the wing and moth-like stars were flickering out, I dropped the berry in a stream and caught a little silver trout. When I had laid it on the floor, I went to blow the fire aflame, but something rustled on the floor and someone called me by my name. It had become a glimmering girl with apple blossom in her hair, who called me by my name and ran and faded through the brightening air. Though I am old with wandering through hollow lands and hilly lands, I will find out where she has gone and kiss her lips and take her hands, and walk among the dappled grass and pluck till time and times are done the silver apples of the moon, the golden apples of the sun. Okay, this is a poem by William Butler Yeats. William Butler Yeats is an Irish poet, probably one of the greatest ever. He was educated in London and in Dublin, and he was very interested in Irish mythology, and this poem is about Aengus. Let's see, this is the Gaelic god of love, of youth, of poetic inspiration, and it's effectively telling what happened to Aengus. He's telling part of a myth. I went out to the hazel wood because a fire was in my head. So I went out. I couldn't stay in the house any longer because my head was burning. I think one thing that's important to notice is that this poem, or this is being told by somebody much, much later on when they're old and they're remembering and looking back and thinking. And this, I went out into the hazel wood because a fire was in my head. This is something that happened long ago. And cut and peeled a hazel wand. So a wand here is a stick. So he cut a stick from a hazel tree, and he cut it and he peeled it, and he's got a long thin stick. And hooked a berry to a thread. So I took a berry and I put a hook on that and with a thread, and he made a fishing rod. He's making a fishing rod. And when white moths were on the wing, so when the moths were flying, so when the night had come, and moth-like stars were flickering out, I think the stars are starting to come out. I dropped the berry in the stream and caught a little silver trout. So I put a berry in this berry in my fishing rod. I put this in the stream and I caught a trout, a little silver trout. Yay! So then he decides that he's going to cook his trout and eat it. So when I had laid it on the floor, I went to blow the fire aflame. So he's made a fire and he's blowing on this to make flames in the fire so that he can cook his fish, and he's getting ready to cook it. But something rustled on the floor. So he heard the noise of something rustling on the floor, and this was clearly the fish. And someone called me by my name. So here clearly this is magic. It had become a glimmering girl with apple blossom in her hair. So the fish had turned into a shining girl, a shining beautiful girl, and she had apple flowers in her hair, who called me by my name and ran. So she called me by my name, she called my name, and then she ran away, and she faded, she disappeared through the brightening air, through the air. So she disappeared. So this is clearly something magical. Though I am old with wandering through hollow lands and hilly lands. So now I'm old, and this person's been looking back, and I wandered through empty lands and through the hills. I will find out where she has gone. So I am determined. I know I will find her, wherever she is. And I will kiss her lips and take her hands, and walk among long dappled grass. So we will walk along the grass, which is dappled. It's got little bits of shade on it. And pluck till time and times are done, the silver apples of the moon, the golden apples of the sun. And we will spend the rest of time, the rest of eternity, or maybe the rest of our lives, picking the silver apples of the moon and the golden apples of the sun. And we're going to enjoy the rest of time together. We will be together, I think, for the rest of time, as long as I can find her once more. So, enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. The Song of Wandering Aengus by William Butler Yeats.